Spiritual pussy
enthusiasts.
spiritual pussy
Enthusiasts.
spiritual pussy
Enthusiasts.
spiritual pussy
Enthusiasts.
Because you can't give other people what you haven't first given yourself. You give yourself the right idea of yourself. You give yourself the divine idea of yourself. And then you'll give divinity to everybody else. You touch the divinity in others. And when others realize the divinity within them, it will be the greatest blessing that you could convey. But I urge you, God is love, and you ought to love yourself correctly first. And I want to be redundant about this, and it is your divine self. If you're not careful, you have to be careful with this teaching, or you'll think I'm teaching some type of egocentric philosophy. Love the divine self of you. Love the God in you. Love the right idea of yourself. The divine idea of yourself deserves to be loved. And this is loving God. You don't love God until you love yourself. Some religions even go so far as to teach people to hate themselves and love God at the same time. And people have been taught to punish themselves and to whip themselves and to beat themselves bloody to show how they hate themselves and love God. Such utter nonsense and insanity. You cannot love others correctly until you love yourself correctly. And others cannot love you correctly until you love yourself correctly. Yes, and I say you should be proud of yourself. And if you know your real self, you will be proud of your real self. You should be proud to know that God in you is you. And I have to keep repeating again and again, and if you're following me, you see that I'm not talking about human self-conceit. And you should congratulate yourself from time to time. As you recognize your divine self and see your divine self expressing, you should congratulate yourself. And you ought to be able to look and to see what God is doing in you and through you and as you. And say, oh, I'm so proud of what God is doing in me, through me, and as me. And praise the divine self as it lives in you, through you, and as you. And the more it will pour forth itself through you. This is divine self-pride. This is not human self-pride at all. Love is divinely natural, and that love must begin with you loving your divine self correctly. You loving the right idea of yourself. Loving yourself as a child of God. Loving yourself as an expression of God. Success is divinely natural. There is nothing on earth or anywhere else more unnatural than failure. It's not natural to fail. That's unnatural. The beautiful old spiritual is titled, There Is No Failure in God. Let's say it together. There is no failure in God. The Lord God in the Old Testament, in the book of Genesis, about the only thing he ever regretted was making man. But divine principle never fails. Just think of the millions of years that the sun has come up in the morning and gone down in the evening. The seasons have changed. The tide has come in and gone out. You know, there must be an unfaltering principle behind all of that. You can see that even in natural phenomena. Is that right? As the Christian saints would put it, Jesus never fails. And divine principle in this sense is what is truly meant by Jesus never fails. There are certain eternal cosmic laws which operate the same time all the time. And one of those great cosmic laws which operate the same time all the time without failing is this: as a man thinks, so is he. That never fails, and as Rev Ike taught us in a previous lesson, you're always getting perfect results, whether it's perfect joy or a perfect mess. But every one of you here tonight, you may not know it, but every one of you here practicing perfection. The perfection of divine principle is operating in your life every moment. You are getting exactly what you think of yourself. If you want something else, then think something else about yourself. As I say, even if your life is a perfect mess, you're still getting perfect results. What you see is what you get. And one of the greatest things that I've ever heard Rev Ike say, I think it was said the last lesson or a lesson before that, which again illustrates the immutability of divine principle. See yourself as you wish to be, for you must be as you see yourself. Now that's based on unchangeable divine principle. And some of you are probably shocked to know that you're getting perfect results in your life. Yes, you are. You're getting perfect results. If all you get is 50 cents a month, that's perfect results, because that's all you're thinking. Divine principle reacts to Rockefeller just like it does to you. Divine principle, the law of mind, is the same thing that makes the rich rich and makes the poor poor. You see, they're not two things. The Lord our God is one. And the same thing that makes you poor is the same thing that will make you what? Rich. And it's just as simple for the law of mind to make you poor as it is to make you rich. It is just as simple for the law of mind to make you a failure as it is to make you successful. It doesn't cost God anything for you to be rich. Uh-oh. I want to give you that, and I want you to write this down. It doesn't cost God anything extra for me to be rich. Come on. It doesn't cost God anything extra for me to be rich. That's why you don't have to have any guilt complex about eating steak while others are starving. Because if you didn't eat that steak, the poor, the folks, the people who don't have the consciousness for steak couldn't eat it anyway. It's just like the young man who walked up to me as I was sitting in one of the church's limousines, Rolls-Royce limousines, several years ago, about 3 summers ago. He said to me, "Pardon me, are you Reverend Ike?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Reverend, do you think it's right for you to be riding in a car like this?" Yeah, this car cost about $30,000. I said, "Well, you're off a few." He said, "But do you think it's right for you to be riding in a car like this?" I said, "What do you mean, son?" He said, "Well, you're supposed to be helping the poor, aren't you?" So I said to him, "Would it help the poor if I got out of this and got on a bicycle?" It wouldn't help the hungry for you to be hungry, would it? See how, you know, when you don't know the law of mind, you're just downright silly. It doesn't take anything. The rich people don't take anything from the poor folks. The poor folks take from themselves. You can only have what you have the consciousness to have. And I'll have to tell you this again, and I tell you this time and time again to illustrate what I mean, because we always have new people here. Always you're reading in the newspaper about people who died in the most poverty-ridden conditions, in an old shack full of junk and paper and garbage. And some of these people had begged on the streets for years. Just like some of these people in New York. I'm going to tell you something. I came to New York about 22 years ago, and some of the same people that I saw on the street begging 22 years ago, I go down on Fifth Avenue and I see them there still begging. They got a lot of money. But you see, they've got a beggar's consciousness, and they can't even enjoy the money that they have. That's why I don't give them a damn thing. If a man comes to me and says, Rev Mike, I'm on level with you. I want $1 to get me a pint of wine. I'd probably give him something first. He's honest. And if I don't feel like giving it to him, I'd say to him, well, look, son, I says, you know, I said, if I can't afford to support a habit like that, I sure can't support yours. But so many times people who have been beggars and who lived in poverty die, and they find hundreds of thousands of dollars in their hovels when they die. Well, you see, the truth is they didn't have their money had them. And there's a difference there. That's why everything that I have, I make it my business to enjoy it, and damn it, everything you get your hands on, you enjoy it. Right after I first got married, that's when I sent for the insurance man to come and so that the church could take out an insurance on me for the benefit of my wife. And so after they finally made the investigation and saw the angels at my house and all like that, my wife started kidding me. She says, oh, says, when you die, that me and my next husband are going to live it up. I got to thinking about that, and I said, you call that insurance man. Call him right back here. I took out one on her. I says, that you can mess around if you want to and go before I do. But me and my next whatever are going to really live it up. Now, I'm not telling you to be reckless with your money. That's not what I mean. But everything that comes your way by means of your God consciousness, you should enjoy it and savor it. Because whatever you enjoy, you increase. Write that down. Whatever you enjoy correctly, you increase. And I've told you and warned you before, never put anything away for a rainy day. Because if you do, it's going to rain children. And don't think you're going to take anything from anybody by enjoying, by succeeding, and by prospering. Well, the few things that I have, if you want to call them that. If I didn't have them and enjoy them, the poor people wouldn't have them. Success is divinely natural. Prosperity is divinely natural. I love the scripture from Joshua, you shall have good success. Together, you shall have good success. What kind of success? Good success. Everybody should be a big success. I was so happy to read yesterday that in 1972, about 25,000 more Americans became millionaires. More people are becoming millionaires today than ever. Don't you believe this old bunk about devaluation? People come to me talking about the devaluation of the dollar. I said, I'd sure rather have a few million of these devalued dollars today than nothing of those valued dollars of yesterday. And I have to repeat here again something about Harry Truman when he first ran for president on his own. And one of his opponents said, yes, in 1932 you could buy so much for a quarter. And Harry Truman said, yes, but in 1932 who had a quarter? But just stop and think for a moment. Just last year alone, 25,000 more people became millionaires. And it's easier today to be successful and prosperous than ever before. Why ordinary people are becoming successful and prosperous and becoming multimillionaires. You see, because, to go back a ways in American history, the big Multimillionaires, you would say they made it in railroads and in shipping and in things of that kind. But here again, look at that old man from Kentucky who was drawing his Social Security, an old man, and he got a chicken and an idea. That's all he had, a chicken and an idea. Colonel Sanders. And he started frying chicken. And he is a multimillionaire. Which goes to what I tell you from time to time, that, everything is idea. And some people seem to think that, well, because I didn't get a great education, because maybe I'm an ordinary person. Well, Colonel Sanders was a very ordinary man. Drawing Social Security. The biggest franchise business in the nation today. Time magazine did about 10 pages on them a few weeks ago. Is McDonald's. Nothing but a damn hamburger. How much more simple can success be? There's a man with a hamburger and an idea. Then he put cheese on it and made it a cheeseburger. And he kept adding. Now, what's the latest thing they've got? Big Mac. Nothing but a damn hamburger. But he kept getting, after he got that first hamburger idea, he kept putting ideas onto that idea. Are you with me? Anybody here taking me serious? See, some people are looking for some fantastic thing to come out of the sky. Some people are looking for some great wonder. Oh no, success is many times a simple idea. Yes, and people have gotten rich off of great ideas, like the Wright brothers and aeronautical science and Thomas Edison and the electric light bulb. But just think today, people are getting rich off of hamburgers. Some of you women in here can out-fry Colonel Sanders any day when it comes to chicken. Well, why ain't you rich? I myself can make hamburgers. Absolutely. So if I stopped preaching, I could set up a hamburger stand, and I guarantee you, brother, I'd give McDonald's a run for all their money. Every once in a while, I make up some hamburgers, too. I've got my own recipe written down in my house. I give it to my housekeepers. I've made them myself to show them what I mean. You never tasted anything like it. I know so many, if I stop doing this, I know so many simple ideas. Because you see, when you become a person of ideas, and as one of Rev Ike's success ideas was titled, I open my mind to right ideas. When you get in the habit of opening your mind to right ideas and to success ideas, why, successful ideas, money-making ideas just come to you in floods, which fulfill the words of Jesus, to him that hath, to him it shall be given. Colonel Sanders is going to get richer. No chicken will be safe. They're always coming up with new ideas. The rich get richer and the poor get poorer. That's the law of mind. And that's what wealth is anyway. Wealth is pure idea. So is poverty, pure idea. I'm just nudging some of you to show you, that success is divinely natural, and it doesn't have to be making discoveries in aeronautical science or in the electric light or in automobiles like Henry Ford did and became a billionaire. You get the right idea, you can become successful with a simple thing. Every day of your life, some of you, you're working miracles. Some of you fried chicken every week. Never made a nickel out of it. Colonel Sanders fries chickens and makes billions. Some of you have been making hamburgers all your days. McDonald's, you know, like way back yonder, all McDonald had was a farm. McDonald's got more than a farm now. E-I-E-I-O. Can't laugh after old MacDonald anymore. It was interesting to read that biography of how it started out with one little old hot dog stand. I think it was in Illinois somewhere. Okay, success is divinely natural. And in order to fail, you really have to work at it. And some of you work at it too. Some of you are just like district attorneys working against yourself to convict yourselves of poverty. Well, I can't. No, that wouldn't work. Oh, I wish I could. No, but I couldn't. Oh, I sure wish I had. No, but I know I couldn't. I couldn't. Every time the God in you tries to open up a thought in your mind, you talk it down, think it down. And then you get on the phone and call Susie. Susie finishes you off. No, girl, you couldn't do that.